What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Study Hall here on YGO University. My name's Tam, and I'm joined by this fantastic cast. Who do we got here today?
Michael,
Bryce, and
Alex.
What's Study Hall is for the unenrolled is we take a bunch of your guys' Yu-Gi-Oh topics and some of our own, and we sit down and we discuss them for your amusement, entertainment, and knowledge. So with that said, topic 3 of the week. I have people off camera very distracting me. Topic 3 of the week. Topic 3 of the week is I want to talk about the health of floodgates in Yu-Gi-Oh. I want to talk about what are good floodgates, what are bad floodgates. Yesterday, I'm pretty sure that we ended with us talking about rivalry, correct?
yes,
That was like one of the last words we said, I believe, before the FTK conversation.
Yep, sorry.
That's okay. No, add to the conversation. I want that. Just let's ruin my segue. But what's a healthy floodgate? What's a non-healthy floodgate? How do you design a healthy floodgate? Take it away, gentlemen.
I think that a healthy floodgate, maybe not right now for this format, not that it's healthy or not, but I think a well-designed floodgate, and I've always felt this way, is skill drain. I mean, you know, it costs 1,000 life points, and it only affects monsters face up on the field. I don't know. I don't think it's relevant, but it doesn't. Usually the decks that play it is more tailored to, but a lot of decks can still play around it.
yeah. I mean, I think in some sense it's balanced, but like when, it's a tough one because it used to just not be very good at all. Maybe it was because of lack of interaction with other cards, or like negating your opponent's effects wasn't as big of a deal than it is now. But definitely now, I think it might be too good, which is why it's at 1, I would say.
I definitely do think that it deserves to be at 1.
Yeah,
For sure.
but yeah, I think like having a cost to activate Floodgate is definitely something they should incorporate if they do decide to make new ones. But for the most part, I don't think they've really made any new Floodgates that I can think of. Besides, maybe there can only be one. But like all the ones that they play anymore are just old cards that kind of just are good now because they weren't as good when they printed them, like Rivalry and Gozen. Like they affect both players, which is like the downside, but when you build your deck to be able to play around the downside of that card and your opponent can't play around it, then like sometimes there just isn't anything they can do at all and you win just by flipping it.
So for the people who are watching who don't understand our slang terminology, a floodgate is some sort of card that inhibits the action of something for just existing on the field. The one that we just talked about is Rivalry of Warlords, where you flip and you activate your trap. It's a continuous trap. It stays face up on the field. You declare I declare a type, you declare a type, correct? And we both can only have monsters of that type on the field. If your field clears, you can declare a new type and summon more cards. But as long as you have that specific type on the field, that's all you can have. If I pick Warriors, it's just Warriors. If I pick Aqua, it's just Aqua. And that's in a deck that plays Warriors and Pyros and Aqua and Fish and Angels.
You lose.
You lose. You're just like, I summoned a dude. Pass. And all they did was just activate a singular card. You get to stop playing the game. Alex, how do you feel about floodgates?
I think they put you in a 50-50 scenario of, do I have MST or a newer Twin Twister, something like that. And if you don't, you lose. And I don't like that.
It's even worse because it's 50-50 in outcomes, but it's not even a 50-50 that you're going to draw it. It's like worse than that.
Yep, totally.
So.
I think the best thing that they could do with floodgates is take all of them and remove the continuous trap on them. I think if you took every single floodgate and you made it once on field, once in discard pile, you could do that thing. I think it'd be fun. I think the fact of it existing forever, I can't even try and draw out of it. Just like, so the reason I thought of this topic was a very, very cool floodgate that was brought up was the Dimension Barrier. That's a floodgate card. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It stops you for an entire turn, and I have to have the reads. Oh, you're playing a synchro deck. I'll flip this thing. You can't synchro this turn. This turn. That's it. And that slows it down just enough. Maybe I have outs with some other type of card. Hey, you can't link someone for this turn. Okay, well, I can still make a fusion monster. My deck can still do that, and that's enough. But you happen to draw the trap card for a turn, and then hopefully I can set up.
In some cases, I think that, or at least in the past, at least Dimensional Barrier was even better than those cards. Just because although they are continuous, they do have another drawback because they are continuous, is that you can stop them from resolving with, like, if you flip D Barrier, your opponent's like, I have MST doesn't stop that. There isn't anything you can play that really stops a Dimensional Barrier on your first turn. Like, there's nothing you can really play that stops that. People play, like, Night Beam, which is very niche, and it's not even guaranteed. Like, something like, I don't think that's very good. But, like, yeah, obviously the drawback of having a continuous is they can destroy it immediately, but if they don't, then it's there forever. So
What if they're on a timer? What if, like, at the end of this turn?
Like deck lockdown?
Yeah.
Ooh, I think that'd be really neat.
I like deck lockdown. I think they have to have more drawbacks than what they have, like those older cards. Like, they affect both players, which is supposed to be the drawback, but they should have more, like skill drain is paying life points, something like that. I
don't think life points matter, but yeah.
But like some other drawback, maybe even discarding a card or something, even though that probably doesn't matter either if you're winning the game, or some way for both players to interact to remove it, which, like, something like Chicken Game, like both players, it's kind of like a floodgate because, like, only one person would take damage. But
I loved that actually.
That card was cool.
That's a very cool floodgate.
Yeah.
I dig that a lot. It did something different to the game, and my opponent was allowed to interact with it.
Yeah, I think something like that. They even have a new floodgate coming out, I think, in May, which is a field spell, and it's the player that has the more monsters can't activate their monsters on the field, and they can't attack. So it's like a skill drain, and they can't attack at the same time. But the drawback is, if you have more monsters, then you can't attack either. So it's whatever. But the drawback is, if both players at the end phase control the same amount of monsters, then it's destroyed. So it has like a interaction in a sense that you can play around it to destroy it without having to do anything else. Kind of like Vanity's Emptiness. I think
I wanted to bring up that card.
I think, although it's very, I don't think it's healthy because of what it does, but the drawbacks to it, I think, are more interactive and something that should be included in other cards.
Yeah. I think that Vanity's Emptiness was almost made correctly.
Yes.
I think that the only other drawback that card could have had on it is that you can't control a special summon monster. I think that is the only way that you could have made that card balanced. Because when it first came out, everybody thought that card was garbage. Like, back in Star Strike Blast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember me and my dad getting a lot of Star Strike Blast, and before it became popular, we had probably 20, 30 Vanity's Emptinesses, and yeah, that card was actually just terrible.
I think it's also because of, like, the way the game changed. Because, like, when people stop playing more Darkhold and MSC, then it becomes a little bit worse. But
You
what
wanna
was I
talk
gonna say, Tam?
You want to talk about Vanity's Emptiness? I played that card at a 3 of in Uriah. I'll summon a big trap dude. I'll summon a Mystic Magic Slime guy. What's the 3,000 defense?
Yeah.
Oh my god, with
Yeah.
Imperial Customs,
And then just be
you
like,
savage.
All right, I'm gonna win. Go ahead. Nothing you can do. Can't special summon shit. I'll get you eventually.
The deck could probably do something today.
You think so? If that card was alive.
I mean, you don't have Emptiness anymore, but
yeah.
It has
There's other floodgates.
more card advantage tools now.
Yeah?
Like
The new pot.
you could play Desires, you could play the new pot, you could play
We better play continuous trap the deck.
and Demise. Card of
That'd be
Demise.
oh yeah.
Oh, fuck. I always forget about that.
Well, I don't know. That might counteract with the deck, just because Uriah is a special summon.
Yeah.
discard it.
Honestly,
Fuck.
we don't have to play Uriah. that wasn't the good part.
Oh.
It's a
We're playing continuous trap deck. 40 continuous traps, folks. Hit us up with deck
I
lists.
don't know about that.
Hit us up with deck lists in the comments.
We got to have a
Dude, that should be a
mask
topic.
of darkness.
That should be our next topic. We just build that deck live.
Put my traps back in my hand, obviously.
So like infinite
What?
Wapaku
It's a
combo.
flip monster.
But you draw a trap every turn.
Yeah, but maybe I wanted an old one.
Dude, what's
I
the one
see.
card where you
Consistency.
send something on your field and then you negate their battle phase?
Scrubbed Raid.
Yeah,
I
that
love
card.
that card.
Yeah.
Scrubbed Raid is awesome. I used to have
Is that a floodgate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's a
Against
healthy
attack.
floodgate.
a
attacking.
continuous trap card that says you can't do this.
See, like you guys come up with good ones, like they've designed fine ones, but
Very
then they're just
balanced
like,
ones.
Balanced ones wouldn't get played though, I think.
Right.
Well,
no,
Like Scrubbed Raid.
agreeable.
So the point is like eventually Jonathan Konami, the owner of Yu-Gi-Oh, I think that's the president's name, right?
Your father.
My dad. Hopefully he'll watch this podcast and he'll be like, "Wow, that's a really cool idea. Maybe we should balance the game."
What do you guys think of anti-spell fragrance?
I
I'm
always thought that card was balanced.
I very much dislike it.
As a pendulum player,
As a pendulum player, I very much dislike it.
Like when the card was made, they didn't anticipate for
Very fast deck.
That-
for
That's-
very fast decks, but they also didn't anticipate monster spell cards.
yeah.
Yeah.
And once
Nobody
they,
did.
Eventually,
Nobody
This is
did.
gonna fuck some people up.
the funniest part was when they came out with them. Literally everybody was asking, okay, well, what's up with anti-spell fragrance then? And then once they finally came out with the ruling, I mean, there was a lot of unhappy people, but I think it was I think that card still is like really balanced.
I think it's
Like there's
balanced.
plenty of ways to play around it. If you play Twin Twister in your deck, like you just chain to it, destroy it, and then you can just go on with your happy turn.
Even without like specific interactions, you can still play around it. You just have to like wait a turn to play your cards. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a big deal when turn or games only last like 2 turns, but like it is still like if you live your next turn, then you flip all your spells and it literally did nothing. They just neg 1. I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm like, there's been plenty of games that I've played at least where I side in anti-spell fragrance, and then like I need, like when I was playing ABCs for example. Okay, all right, well I need a Union Hanger. Oh, I have an anti-spell fragrance out, so I can't play my Union Hanger this turn. Looks
Oh,
like I
shit.
lose.
Yeah.
And so I mean, it's awesome. I get to lose against my own floodgate card, but that's floodgates.
Exactly.
And that's how it should be.
Intended. Yeah.
It's a very balanced floodgate.
Alex, any thoughts? Not about anti-spell fragrance specifically. we don't have 30 minutes for you to
Imperial
rant
Lord.
about
But
that.
I don't like floodgates.
You just at all. You don't think they should exist?
I don't think that's the right kind of defense you should have in a game.
Okay, so what's the right kind of defense?
Um,
How would you make a
interaction
good floodgate?
based? Well, I
You just wouldn't.
yeah, I like the traps that are like Solemn Strike, where it's like kind of a floodgate against monster effects, but that's only in the sense that you're afraid of it one time, and
Ooh.
like you'd be careful about what you're doing because you think that's what they have, but
Okay.
but like once there's just like they flip it and you just feel bad for 20 minutes.
Yep.
That's not what I'm into.
You just you've got like a midnight fridge syndrome where you shuffle your hand and are like, these 5 cards won't do it, and you shuffle your hand again and be like, they still not gonna do
Yeah,
it. You just open the fridge, you close it and open it again. It's like fuck.
Yeah. I don't know. I just like I think like the most balanced form of defense in Yu-Gi-Oh is the cards that say you can't take damage this turn.
Oh yeah,
Okay, yeah,
Because-
I'm super down.
I
Yeah.
love those as baby floodgate cards.
I
Yeah.
actually for my next deck for locals, I actually want as many of those as I can find.
Final countdown.
No, Exodia,
Oh.
but it's gonna be a real bitch with Thunder Dragons. But we're gonna roll the dice.
It doesn't stop drawing. You
It
get-
does not. You're
yeah,
right.
so you just keep duality out of
You
it.
can play
Yo.
3 Sangan and 3 Witch.
No, the
You-
Thunder Dragons
But
still
like
beats
Thunder
that.
Dragons-
You
Yeah,
just side
don't
those.
care.
Just side those for
Just
if you
don't care.
Or
Let's
side
go.
them out.
Let's go.
And you limit reverse, put your Sangan into defense mode, or just
You
like
just need
with
to
Oh
be
my
able to
God.
special summon
I love
Sangan
that
and then
card.
Inferno Reckless Summon to get all of them at the same time.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Wait, no, Sangan's once per turn.
Yeah, they're once return.
Dang it.
Is
I was
it?
like imagining you could.
Yeah,
crash
they
it.
are
Oh, they're
right.
balanced.
Man.
They're balanced now.
No.
Yeah, that's why they're allowed.
No. Neat. Any last minute thoughts on my Exodia deck? Not Floodgates. We're changing the topic.
I think you should play Mystic Piper Exodia. That's just my opinion, though.
I have 3 Mystic Pipers. We'll talk about it off
Okay,
camera.
sweet.
There's
Anything about?
Oh, Exodia.
we'll talk about floodgates. We'll talk about Exodia the next topic, I guess.
I don't know.
That's it for this week.
Yep.
You can say goodbye to Exodia.
So with that, we're gonna go on to topic 4.